On episode 166 of He Said, She Said Movie Reviews, we take a look at the Netflix movie Eurovision Song Contest, the story of Fire Saga. Welcome to He Said, She Said Movie Reviews. This is the podcast where a happily married couple with similar but different movie tastes take a quick, spoiler-free look at the movies, helping you make the right decision before your next movie. I'm your host, Tim.
And I'm April.
So we just watched Eurovision Song Contest, the story of Fire Saga on Netflix. I give this movie 3.25 stars.
Wow.
How about you, April?
I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.
All right.
Because it's light.
This movie is about two aspiring musicians, Lars and Sigrid, who are given the opportunity to represent their country at the world's biggest song competition. They finally have a chance to prove that any dream worth having is a dream worth fighting for.
Director David Dobkin, he's known for The Judge, Wedding Crashers, Fred Claus, and Shanghai Nights. Writers are Will Ferrell. He's known for, of course, The Night at the Roxbury, Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, Talladega Nights, and Anchorman 2. Andrew Steele, also a writer, known for The Ladies' Man, SNL, and The Jon Stewart Show.
This has a great cast of Will Ferrell, Rachel McAdams, Dan Stevens, Mikael Persbrandt, Persbrandt, Ólafur Ólafsson, Melissanthi, Mahut, and Johannsson.
The runtime is 123 minutes. It's rated PG-13 for crude sexual material, including full nude sculptures, some comic violent images, and language.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
this is going to be fun.
Yeah. So listen, here's the bottom line for me. I'm a huge Will Ferrell fan. And for me, Will Ferrell has made some horribly bad movies. I mean, but occasionally he hits one out of the park and it is comic genius. You look at Elf, Anchorman,
oh yeah,
Step Brothers, but most of his movies are garbage. Or not, I mean, they're just too silly. Like the Holmes and Watson one, and Blades of Glory. And this is not a home run, but it wasn't one of his stinkers either. I mean, it was a decent movie.
This movie, I want you to know, I really upped it when I gave it a 3 because it was too long. It was. And there just wasn't the chemistry between Will and Rachel. It just wasn't there.
One last thing. When I saw this trailer for this movie, I thought this was going to be another Blades of Glory, which I thought was a horrible movie because it really looked like Blades of Glory to me, but a singing version of it. I was pleasantly surprised with this movie.
Right. Well, there's a lot of things to say. The negatives I did say right up front, but the fun part of this movie, it's just Iceland, the community, how they communicated. The two knew each other from childhood. I mean, the costumes and the singing contest. I mean, there were a lot of things that made it interesting. But what I liked, seriously, it was a light movie with everything going on right now.
Yeah, it was.
And that's why I think I gave it a 3.
Okay. Well, like I said, this movie really surprised me. It had an interesting tone, a theme.
It did.
It's kind of even losers can be winners type of tone.
Yeah, most definitely.
I thought the acting, it was well acted. I thought everybody involved did a really good job. I was really surprised when I saw the trailer, too. I didn't know that it was Rachel McAdams, as playing Sigrid in this movie with Will Ferrell. Who would have thought that Rachel McAdams would have been in a Will Ferrell movie?
Right. Oh, she did such a good job, too.
I thought it was well directed. I have no problem with the direction. I mean, you look at the guy David Dobkin, he's directed some great movies.
He
The
really
Judge,
has.
Wedding Crashers.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and the score, though, was very Eurovision.
Yeah, it was. I mean, for those of you who don't know, Eurovision is this major singing contest. It's a real singing contest in Europe. And this is the singing contest that gave us ABBA, one of the world's biggest, greatest groups. So,
And I want to talk a minute about the cinematography. It was absolutely gorgeous. Most beautiful shots of Iceland. And he knows this is a place I've always wanted to go. One of my relatives actually got to go there, and my sister's been there. And it's just a place I really want to get to. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, it's something, it's one of those where you got to go in the summertime, of course.
Yeah, of
but
course.
it looks like a great place to go. And as you said, your relative who went there, she just thoroughly enjoyed it. So,
and just, I want to talk a minute about the production design. Great sets. I mean, honestly, just that was really well done.
The great sets, the musical numbers, the one when, at the party when they break out into a song.
That was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah,
actually,
it had good the special effects were funny, and of course, Will Ferrell relies a lot on that physical humor and stuff.
He
so
does.
The special effects.
He does.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to point out too, which it took me halfway through the movie to figure out who the Russian singer was, played by Dan Stevens from Downton Abbey.
Oh, yes.
So,
it's hard to believe he was in Downton Abbey.
Yeah, he's actually been in a lot of stuff. I looked him up after this, and he's been in a lot of stuff.
I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah, he was. He did a very good job. And you said the movie was too long at coming in at 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Oh, it was too long.
Honestly, I thought it moved along at a fairly good pace.
Well, that's good.
So,
I'm glad you thought that.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I have your permission to think that.
And I know you thought the dialogue was good. This is an area I thought could do a little bit better. However, with that being said, Will Ferrell's character was so odd. He's supposed to be odd.
Yeah.
So see, a lot of that is meant to be that way.
And there were some really funny running jokes throughout the movie.
Yes.
Every time they got introduced to somebody new, I thought this joke was so funny. Was always like, "Oh, your brother's and sister," right?
Right.
And I thought that joke would have gotten old halfway through the movie. It didn't. Every time it came up, it was hilariously funny. Right. I don't know. I just, like I said, though, I'm a Will Ferrell fan. I'll see everything he comes out with, even if it is garbage. So
yeah. Well, this was not. I thought they did. I mean, again, I kind of upsold it a little bit with the 3, but I did it because A, we need movies that are lighter right now. B, it was funny at different times, right? And there was so much to it. The singing, the learning about the whole contest and Iceland's community, the families. I mean, it was kind of interesting.
Oh, I thought the opening scene, too, where they're doing the music video on the beach, that opening scene, I thought that was hilariously funny, too. So I just thoroughly enjoy it. This is a very lighthearted movie.
It is.
It doesn't take itself seriously at all.
No, but I wish I had laughed more. I really do. And I think that could have been done better. I also think the chemistry, it just, for me, the two of them, it just.
But I think the chemistry is part of what was the comic part of the movie, because she was in love with him and he had no clue.
That's
true.
So
there shouldn't have been chemistry, right?
True. They were really cute how they grew up together and talked to each other. That is for sure.
Yeah. So, and we saw this with our daughter. So,
yeah.
It's a good little family movie. Well, adult children, let me say that, because it is rated R for our PG-13. Yes. So.
But I'll tell you what, if you're thinking about what to say and want to see something light and just you are a Will Ferrell fan, I think go ahead and see it. Sure.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more.
All right. Well, we appreciate your support and we thank you so much. Y'all are continuing to reach out and ask us lots of questions and encouraging us to review certain movies and big into streaming right now. I get it. We are keeping up and we just look forward to providing you with more movie reviews. Stay safe and we appreciate your support.
Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you on the couch.
See you on the couch.